My fiancé invited his ex to our wedding saying she's just a close friend, but what I discovered the night before the ceremony changed everything. When my fiancé, Ethan told me he wanted to invite his ex, Clara, to our wedding, I actually laughed. I thought he was joking, some kind of dry, awkward humor he was known for. But he didn't laugh back. He simply handed me the guest list, scrolling through names on his phone until I saw it. Clara Mitchell. There it was, right between his cousins and a few college friends. I froze. Wait, Clara? Your ex Clara? He nodded, sipping his coffee like he'd just said something completely normal. Yeah, she's just a close friend now. We dated years ago, Em. It's ancient history. I thought it'd be nice to include her. You know, no hard feelings. My stomach twisted. Nice to include her? This wasn't some casual dinner party. This was our wedding. Ethan, are you serious? I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. You really think it's appropriate to invite someone you used to sleep with to the day we're literally vowing to spend forever together? He sighed, rolling his eyes slightly. You're overthinking it. We've moved on. We're adults. Don't make this weird. That line, don't make this weird, replayed in my head for days. I wanted to believe him. After all, Ethan had never cheated, never lied, never given me a reason not to trust him. We'd been together for 4 years, through job losses, family drama, and even a pandemic. I loved him deeply. But the idea of his ex sitting there while I said I do made my skin crawl. Still, I swallowed my doubts and said what every naive bride-to-be says when she doesn't want to start a fight. Fine, invite her. But if she causes even a little drama, she's gone. He smiled like that was the end of it. But it wasn't. Over the next few weeks, Clara's name came up more than I ever wanted to hear. Ethan mentioned she'd texted him to confirm her RSVP. Then apparently she offered to help with some decoration ideas because she knew a great florist. At first, I tried to shrug it off. But then one afternoon, as I passed by his office, I heard him laughing softly on the phone. You always know what I like, he said, voice low and warm. I stopped dead in my tracks. He noticed me standing there and quickly ended the call. That was about the centerpieces, he said a little too fast. Clara just suggested some color options. Right. Centerpieces. That night I couldn't sleep. Ethan lay next to me, scrolling through his phone until I finally asked, Can I see what you're doing? He locked it instantly. Just work emails, he said. My gut screamed otherwise. The next day, my maid of honor, Lily E., called. Her voice sounded hesitant. Em, you're going to hate me? But I saw something weird. Apparently, Clara had been posting wedding content on her Instagram with captions like, Can't wait for the big day, you special connection. I laughed nervously. Maybe she's just happy for us? Lily was quiet. Then she sent screenshots. In one photo, Clara wore a delicate silver bracelet, the same one I'd seen on Ethan's wrist back when we started dating. The caption read, Back where it belongs. My hands started shaking. I stared at the picture until the words blurred. When I confronted Ethan that evening, he looked annoyed, not guilty. You're being paranoid, Emily. It's just a stupid bracelet. She gave it to me years ago and I gave it back. That's all. But paranoia doesn't make your fiancé hide his phone when you walk into the room. Paranoia doesn't make his ex post cryptic love quotes about unfinished stories and fate bringing people back together. By the night before the wedding, I was exhausted, emotionally and physically. My dress hung in the corner, untouched. My phone buzzed constantly with last-minute details, but my heart wasn't in it. I couldn't stop thinking, what if he still loves her? That's when Lily, my ride or die since college, came over with a bottle of wine and an idea. If you really want to know the truth, she said, lowering her voice, we can find out tonight. I stared at her. What do you mean? She leaned forward, eyes sharp. Ethan's staying at the hotel near the venue, right? Then let's go. If he's innocent, you'll finally sleep peacefully. But if he's not, she trailed off. My heart pounded. I thought of the bracelet, the hidden phone, the way Clara's name seemed to appear in every conversation. I didn't hesitate. Let's do it. At 11:45, I stood in the dimly lit hallway of the hotel where Ethan was staying, my hands trembling so badly I could barely keep my phone steady. My heart hammered against my ribs, the sound loud enough that I was afraid it might give me away. Lily stood next to me, her face pale, her jaw clenched. She held her phone like a weapon, flashlight ready. "Are you sure you want to do this?" she whispered. I nodded. My throat was dry. I need to know. He wasn't expecting me. I'd told him I was having a girls' night with Lily. He'd kissed my forehead earlier, told me he couldn't wait to marry me tomorrow. The memory made bile rise in my throat. When I reached his door, my hand hovered over the handle. The silence on the other side felt heavy. I hesitated, then knocked softly. No answer. I tried again. Nothing. Then, faintly, from inside, a woman's laugh. Not just any laugh. Her laugh. Lily's head snapped toward me. Her eyes widened, horror flickering across her face. "Emily, that's Clara." My stomach twisted so violently I thought I'd be sick. Before I could talk myself out of it, I tried the door. To my shock, it was unlocked. The moment it opened, the air hit me. Perfume, wine, and something I couldn't describe. Ethan was standing near the bed, shirtless, frozen mid-sentence. And sitting comfortably on the edge of the bed, wearing his white wedding shirt, was Clara. The same shirt he'd planned to wear in the morning. She looked right at me, a smirk spreading slowly across her face like she'd been waiting for this moment. The silence was deafening. My heartbeat roared in my ears. "Emily, it's not what it looks like," Ethan started, voice cracking. I let out a laugh. Not a normal laugh. More like a broken, shaky sound that didn't feel like mine. "Really, Ethan?" "Because it looks exactly like what I thought it was." Clara rose from the bed, tilting her head slightly. Her tone was calm, too calm. "You were never right for him," she said softly, almost pitying me. "He always came back to me no matter what you did." Those words hit harder than any slap. Ethan stepped forward, reaching for me, but I stepped back. "Don't," I said. My voice cracked, but I meant it. "Don't touch me." He opened his mouth again, but I didn't want to hear it. I turned, my vision blurring as I stumbled out the door. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just walked away, fast, before the weight of what I'd seen crushed me completely. Lily followed close behind, but I could barely hear her voice. Everything around me felt muted, like I was underwater. That night, I didn't sleep. I just sat on my living room floor, still in my dress from the rehearsal dinner, staring at my phone. My wedding was supposed to be in 9 hours. By sunrise, I had already called the venue and canceled everything. The florist, the caterer, the photographer, the DJ. When people asked why, I just said there'd been a change of plans. Ethan called me over a dozen times. Texts, voicemails, missed calls. I ignored all of them. By the next afternoon, he showed up at my apartment. His hair was a mess, his eyes bloodshot. He looked like a man who'd lost everything. "It was a mistake," he said the moment I opened the door. "It didn't mean anything." I stared at him for a long time before answering. "It meant enough for you to lose me." He started crying then. Real, ugly crying. The kind where words turn into gasps. But I didn't feel sorry for him. Not anymore. A week later, I saw a picture on Instagram that made me laugh for the first time since it happened. Clara in a white dress holding Ethan's hand. The caption read, "Always meant to be." I didn't comment. I didn't even get angry. I just scrolled past. But Chatina Carmeris has an incredible sense of timing. 2 months later, Lily sent me a screenshot. Clara's post was gone. Her new one said, "Heartbroken but healing." Some people never change. Apparently, Ethan had cheated on her too, with one of her friends this time. I didn't feel vindicated. I just felt free. Now, whenever someone asks me why I'm still single, I smile and tell them the truth. Because I listened to my gut, just in time. And deep down, I know that night outside his hotel room wasn't the end of my story. It was the beginning of finally choosing myself. Moral. Sometimes the universe doesn't break your heart to hurt you. It breaks it to show you who never deserved it in the first place.